It's here, look. The DJI RS5 combo kit. Ahead of schedule for you guys in the West. It's already been out here in China for like 4, maybe 5 days, maybe a week. The latest and greatest from DJI. Apparently, at least that's what they would have you believe. But I'm kind of a little bit skeptical. I thought that gimbal technology pretty much has reached a peak. Other than, like the Ronin 4D, which has the Z-axis chicken neck thing, which, spoiler, this one doesn't have, and maybe a few other small things. I didn't think there was much more you could add to a gimbal. Today, I'm gonna crack this open. I'll get my first impressions, share them with you guys. Was it worth it? Did I waste my money? Guess let's just find out together. Okay, so I did buy this, the RS4 Mini, a few months ago, and while I am happy with this, and I stand by everything I said in the video I made when I bought this, there are a few things which would make this perfectly suitable for somebody else, but not unsuitable for me, but not ideal. For me, the fact that this thing can balance all the cameras on it that I have, fantastic. But because I like to have cages on all my cameras, that puts the kind of like the center of gravity of the camera up higher, therefore harder to balance. I don't want to have to keep taking the cages on and off. I don't want to be so close to the limit of it. I think with a bigger gimbal, it will be better because you'll have more headroom and then you'll have more forgiveness. Anyway, less about this. Gotta be honest, DJI packing, some of the best in the world. Love how they pack it. Classic DJI gimbal looking bag. It's the regular kind of case. Looks the same as a lot of them does. Maybe the outside material is slightly different, but no innovation with the case. Wasn't expecting anything anyway. All right, so I've opened up the side with the actual main part of the gimbal in it. Much bigger straight off the bat than the RS4 Mini, obviously. It's looking pretty sleek, actually. This is kind of more of a matte black. I much prefer matte black, or just black in general. Other than that, the RS4 Mini is that kind of light gray. That's kind of coolish, and it's kind of grown on me a bit, but this matte black beats everything hands down. Looks nice. Packed as always, pretty well. So right, main part of the gimbal in there. Not much else in there. All right, so I appreciate that. Before, on the RS2, you had one compartment for the main part of the gimbal and one compartment which you had to then zip back up the gimbal compartment and unzip the part with all the accessories in. This just has a Velcro strap. The middle part moves over and there are all the accessories. So that actually is a big change for me in the whole case part of it. Liking it. So also this time, look, there is an electronic briefcase handle, which I'm not sure if that's a massive deal breaker for me, but it does seem handy that you would not have to, reach the main part of the gimbal and you can control it like while it's down low. I do use it, the gimbal in briefcase mode, quite a lot when I'm using it. Looking forward to seeing this. It's actually pretty light, which is cool because I always hated like the RS2 for just being so heavy. So wherever you can save weight, all good. Feels nice, big, solid, chunky grip as well. The tripod, which is supposed to be easy deploy, right? Easy deploy. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, okay. Just means all the legs are connected. Like you just pull one out and they all do it. It feels pretty chunky. It's light, but it feels solid. Right, we have the intelligent tracking AI module thing. Looks way better than the RS4 Mini in black. I wonder, is it going to perform the same, or is it going to be, is it going to be just exactly the same thing but in a black shell? Only time will tell. Okay, standard from the last couple of gimbal iterations, kind of DJI plate. Has the removable smaller plate for going on the camera. Quite handy, quite nice. Feels well built. It's lightweight aluminium. Extension plate thing. Oh, this is the thing if you've got a longer lens. Never ever used those in my entire life. And this, I'm guessing, is the battery. Yep, once again, nice black. It feels like these two, the stand and the battery, feel lightweight, but they feel solid. I don't know, is that worth you upgrading? Not sure. Okay, so another one of those lens support things. Couple of wires. So these are just like the little screw-in things. I get this is for the base plate onto the camera. This is probably a spare for the base plate onto the camera. And then this looks like some kind of turny knob for going on the gimbal. It's the little tiny black thing. And then other than that, the classic DJI manual and some of those silica gels, which keep saying don't eat. I don't know who would eat those. So yeah, overall, not a ton of stuff in here. Plenty more pockets and space where you could put stuff. My guess is they'll reuse exactly the same case for the RS5 Pro kit when it comes out. And those other pockets will have things like the LiDAR, the focus motors, and whatever else is in there. But you know, if that's a deal breaker for you, wait for the RS5 Pro to come out. I'm guessing it'll be sometime in February, it's rumored. But for me, not so much of a deal breaker. I'm okay. Maybe adding the focus motors or LiDAR later on. Maybe not even bother. For the amount of stuff I gimbal, like the amount of gimbal work I do, I'm not sure if I would even need to upgrade to that. Okay, so I have changed my mind about the stand. This actually does come out a lot easier when you just pull on one leg. When it's actually screwed onto the gimbal, look. Actually, much easier. That would be easy just to flick it out, pop the gimbal down, job done. So, changed my mind on that one. Plus points for that. Overall, weight of the gimbal, I mean, it feels a bit lighter than the RS2 was, but not like tons, not like lots, nothing that noticeable. It looks just like a sleeker, more refined version of the RS2. Quick balancing test. Got the gimbal, FX30 in the cage, 2 plates. Nice. Okay, done. Few thoughts. That is possibly the best I've ever had for balancing a gimbal. This seems very smooth, like even with all that weight, with the 24-70 f2.8 and the FX30 with a cage, you just dial that thing backwards and forwards. And in fact, I actually went too far a couple of times because I thought I'd have to put more force behind it from like I'm just used to using other gimbals, and I went too far.
That's what she said.
This is very easy to get tiny, tiny movements without even putting hardly any force in. So it slides up and down nicely, it locks into place nicely. Gotta give them credit where credit is due. That is pretty nice. That's probably the best balancing a gimbal experience I've had. Impressed with the Teflon coating and the little knobs to get it up and down. Other than that, so far, it's very samey as a lot of other gimbals. Let's see how it performs when it's actually out and we've got the tracking module and yeah, with the briefcase handle. So let's give that a whirl next. So I've been using this gimbal for like a whole day now, but it's long enough that I've got a good feel for this gimbal. Now, as to be expected, there is a lot of things that are the same with this iteration of the DJI Ronin, the RS. Things like the locking mechanisms, the vertical shooting, switching onto the top, the whole look and feel of the gimbal, generally quite samey. Not all things are bad, that are the same. The packaging and the quality of the packaging and just the quality of the overall gimbal with DJI, you can pretty much guarantee that now. But what are the things which are different, I hear you say? Well, one thing which I'd definitely have to point out is the balancing. I've had a lot of gimbals. I have a DJI Ronin M over here, you know, the big one with the dual handles, the really old school one that needed a frame to hang it on. I've had an RS2, I've had the original DJI Ronin. I've currently still got the RS4 Mini, and now this one. And the balancing is the best on this it has ever been. I've always found it fiddly, and even with like the Teflon coating on the DJI, you know, RS4 Mini, it still was annoying to shift the weight backwards and forwards on it when balancing. With this one, it seems so good. It's incredible. I would say it just moves fluidly and smoothly. It's really, really nice. And the little knobs that help you slide it up and down, just it's that extra little chef's kiss. So for balancing, best one so far, in my opinion. The tripod, I really like that little tripod. I thought it was going to be a bit of a gimmicky thing. I did think it would be like spring-loaded and it would just like burst out like some of the other like light stands I've seen recently that have been produced. But Even so, just the fact that it's just a simple manual pull out, all the legs go out at the same time, actually does really help. And when you want to set it down, you can just flick it out really quickly and easily. So I actually really appreciate that. It's a small thing, but it's a thing that it's just a great quality of life improvement. The gimbal screen. The gimbal screen's fantastic. The gimbal screen is really nice and clear, and I almost found myself sometimes when I was trying to look down, instead of looking at the camera screen, I just looked to make sure my subject, aka my wife, was smack bang in the middle of that screen. The screen is actually very easy to use for tracking on subject. It is fantastic. The tracking as well, the tracking is really good now. The tracking has improved. I was not so impressed with the tracking on the RS4 Mini. It was a bit jank. It wasn't as smooth, and it did have a tendency to kind of like jump around. The tracking seems to be, I wouldn't say 100% perfect, but it is fantastic. A lot of the time when I was out using it and just trying to follow my wife with it, it comes up with the little tracking icons. It already identifies people and things for you. So then you just tap on that little green triangle at the top, bam. So it's easier to find subjects. You can draw around, like drag a box around them, but it seemed honestly no need with people. I haven't tried it on vehicles yet, but I did try it on an angry goose at the park. And the angry goose, it already knew and was like, hey, do you want to track this goose? Sweet, I do want to track this goose. Now, my movements going around the goose weren't that ideal, but that was human error on my half because I was trying to go on and off a bridge and around some uneven ground while an angry duck was hitting, angry goose, sorry. But the tracking, fantastic. It really is actually pretty usable now compared to the RS4 Mini. I didn't use it extensively enough, but I wasn't super impressed with it. I found it would frame things up a bit funny and not exactly how I wanted them to. So I'm actually quite impressed with the tracking on it. The electronic briefcase handle, also fantastic. Super lightweight, and it just makes, you know, you don't have to keep leaning forwards to push on the actual handle of the gimbal. Seems like a small thing, but when you're trying to use it down low like this, like down by your side, it actually was pretty clutch to have just be able to click it on and off there. So yeah, definitely love the briefcase handle. And one more thing which is super cool on this, the charge time. Just literally an hour from 0 to full. That's amazing. Okay, so who is this gimbal for? Now for me, my experience has been entirely fantastic. Loved this gimbal. But for me, I'm someone who wanted to go from a gimbal which was a lot smaller to a gimbal which is a lot bigger and had some extra features which I didn't have on the smaller gimbal. If, like me, you're going from something like a Mini or an RSC or just no gimbal, this is for you. It is the best iteration of the DJI RS gimbals. It is the newest, the most fantastic, and it has the best options. But I would say if you have an RS4 or an RS4 Pro, maybe unless you're really flush with money and you just like burning cash, might not be the upgrade you need, because I think I've never used the RS4 or the RS4 Pro, but on paper there's a lot of similarities and they do a lot of the same things. There will be the RS5 Pro coming out, which will have all the extra fantastic bells and whistles, which I'm sure you can just add to this if you bought this now. But you might want to first have a little go on it if you see somebody else's, go to a DJI shop, because I'm not sure if it is worth the money to upgrade from the RS4 Pro, because that also looks like a fantastic gimbal which does a lot of the same things as this. That being said, if you're in a market for a decent sized gimbal that can carry a decent weight, definitely would recommend this. Super good. Alrighty, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to get a first impressions of the gimbal out there. I could and I can make a more in-depth video if you like, but I will have to have at least a couple of weeks using this gimbal first before I would feel that I'm okay to do a more in-depth dive into it. I've literally had it 48 hours. I just wanted to get it out there because it is a rare chance to be at least 2 days away from everybody else on the platform releasing their videos, just because I happen to be lucky enough to live in China and it's been released a week earlier than everywhere else for some reason. Strange idea on DJI's part. Not sure what the marketing is there. Maybe it was a oversight on their part, mistake. Maybe it was intentional. I don't know. Anyway, if you have any questions or there's something you want me to do in a more in-depth review of this gimbal, hit me up in the comments down below. And as always, if you like these kind of filmmaking tips and you want more, you know where to find me. There's a couple of buttons down there, like and subscribe, give them a whirl. Until next time, guys, peace.